It's hard to explain just why Leonard Cohen's Australian concerts earlier this year were so extraordinary. But believe me when I tell you that there wasn't a patron who did not leave those arenas floating a little above the ground. Pick your adjective. He was magical, enchanting, spellbinding. His poetic verse and soulful strumming was one thing. His Parisian Sidewalk Cafe Ensemble band and the sweet voiced Webb sisters was another. But what was the most powerful element of all was the man himself, who literally skipped onto the stage and while there transformed it into a most enchanted realm. His visage glowed with an artistic aura that held us tightly in thrall. Despite his advancing years, he could sink into a crouch and then effortlessly glide upwards. When he intoned Hallelujah, you felt as if you gained admittance to a sort of concert heaven. And there was a communion, not just between him and you, but between you and everyone else there. Not only as you gazed around the neighbouring seats, but as you made your way off into the night after the final seductive notes, your satiated sigh blending with all the others. The word had got around before he'd arrived on his first tour in 15 years that his shows would be special. We just didn't know how special. Many of us had been drawn into the mystery and at times the majesty of his verse for 40 years. His songs of love and hate, his odes to sex, spirituality, religion, power, loss and redemption, his wry and dry humour, his completely unique Tower of Song. It used to be said that Leonard Cohen albums and his books of poetry needed to come with razor blades so you could more easily end it all after being depressed by his bleak view of relationship and life. Which missed the point entirely. You certainly didn't come away from these concerts burdened by despair or regret, his or yours, but buoyed by a radiation of joy, his and yours. He spoke of his last outing when, "I was just a 60-year-old kid with a crazy dream." How could you not love him? Having been cleaned out of his finances while in seclusion at a Buddhist monastery, the Canadian poet was forced to the road to replenish his coffers. I'm not sure what he expected to find out there after all these years, but I doubt it was the 750,000 ticket sales, the 85-star reviews, and the establishment of new yardsticks for concert performance. He came to us with his heart pure and his stance humble, topped by an oft-doffed fedora, and we welcomed him into our arms. A review in the Evening Standard newspaper in England, which became the liner notes of the Leonard Cohen Live in London album, had reviewer John Aizlewood offer this observation. Equally informed by both carnal and biblical knowledge, his songs of comfort, longing and, as in Everybody Knows, the occasional nod to the forthcoming apocalypse, hardly seemed made for arenas. Similarly, Cohen, an unashamed ham but no showman, would surely have been happier in an intimate setting. Hardly. His warmth, his intelligence and his childlike delight in an adoring audience was enough. Indeed, when he recited 1,000 Kisses Deep, backed only by Neil Larson's keyboards to a backdrop of reverential silence until a standing ovation afterwards, it was as if Leonard Cohen had set up camp in my lounge. Well, I recall 4 encores at the Sydney Entertainment Centre, and I don't think he got away with any less at any of his other stops around the globe. And I recall a tumult of highlights. Bird on the Wire, Sisters of Mercy, First We Take Manhattan, Hey, That's No Way to Say Goodbye, Suzanne, I'm Your Man, So Long Marianne, Dance Me to the End of Love, and the Old Testament benediction, Whither Thou Goest. It was a London concert at the O2 Arena on Greenwich Peninsula on July 17, 2008 that was captured for a double live album and a concert DVD. A concert based in folk music but incorporating myriad shades and tones, with themes ranging from illumination to insanity. I have about 45 minutes for you, so settle back.